And then there was like this theme of like, and I gotta hide it. I hide it, right? Because boys don't cry. I gotta hide all this. I got all this stuff going on the inside, but I've gotta hide it. And I wonder why. Why do we hide that inner stuff that's going on inside us? My guess would be two reasons, right? One is, okay, welcome back to my channel, Dr. Nick Analyzes. Today I am going to react to an artist that I've never heard of before, Rod Wave, and he's got a song called Boys Don't Cry. This is the acoustic version. It's had 17 million views, which means that he must be pretty famous. He's got plenty of subscribers. Why did I choose this video? It's because a few people have left comments on previous videos suggesting that this might be a nice one to watch and to analyze from a psychological perspective. And so I hope you like what I go for.
Tour bus sliding in the rain, headed out of state. So much going through my brain, I can barely think. Sometimes I get on my own and wonder out of space. I love it, but I'm full of rage. Our past is full of pain. On a planet of my own, living like an alien. Think it's safe to say that I'll never be the same again. Never fall in love again, my heart is on the shelf. My music full of pain, but I keep my problems to myself. Keep my mouth closed, cause my thoughts sometimes can get too deep. My heart cold, my eyes closed, but I never go to sleep. I've been all alone going on 2 weeks, me, myself, and my sheets. Well, don't call your phone so we can speak, but it made me feel weak. Get on the internet and see the world, laugh by my depression. They painted perfect pictures, but I ain't buying what they selling. Collect calls from the county, always can make me smile. Damn, brother, you was just on the streets and now you going to trial. Yeah, mama made it out the streets, I hope you finally proud. They can jump out with that K and broad, they shooting at the crowd. Now you getting on top of the stage and they sing his music loud. Sing his music out loud. Take away my name, take away my throne. Take away my fame, let me keep my soul. Smiling on the outside, inside dying. Listening to a grown man crying. Oh.
Wow. What a beautiful voice he's got. Not just like the tone of it, but like the soul of the voice. And there's something like really lovely about the setup here, right? It's just a dude wearing a polo sport hoodie, a fella in the background playing the keyboard. It's so simple, but the things that he's singing about are so deep that you get captured by it. It's sort of, I'm a bit captivated by it. And so that's the first thing that popped out to me was this person is singing from their soul. It doesn't feel to me like these words aren't meaningful to him, you know? He's well into it. He's well into the song. And then when you think about the words, like there's a lot going on there. There was like themes of being overwhelmed. He said, like, I've got so much going on in my brain. There was themes of like relationship breakdown, things not going right with a loved person. I'd assume it's a partner. And then there were themes of depression, themes of having an inner world that is tumultuous and filled with storms. And then there was like this theme of like, and I gotta hide it. I hide it, right? Because boys don't cry. I gotta hide all this. I got all this stuff going on the inside, but I've gotta hide it. And I wonder why. Why do we hide that inner stuff that's going on inside us? My guess would be two reasons, right? One is we don't want people to worry about us. We don't want to place a burden on the people that we do love by showing them our vulnerability and showing them our pain. But also, like, it feels like there's a shame, right? There's a shame that comes with feeling with admitting that you're not okay. And like society especially, but I'm not sure if it's just society, it almost like tags that as weakness, like you are not coping. I am not coping by feeling these ways. And so what we do is we don't show anybody that we're not coping. We keep those things all locked up inside. And of course, that doesn't make things any better. Like we need to talk about these things and make sense about them, make sense of them with people. It's interesting, isn't it, with this fella? He's just like, you take away my money, you could take away my fame, you could take away all these objective metrics of success. You can have all those things. I just want my soul back. And I think what he means is like he wants his peace back. He wants peace in his soul back. But of course, like there's no God that he can go to that can give him that deal. And so he's going to have to figure out a way to like live with and have this like inner turmoil that he's going through and still keep going in a way. Like if I could speak to him, I'd say, look, these thoughts and these feelings that you've got, you know, they're like the clouds and they're always changing and stuff. Like hang in there, man. You can do some real good in the world. You can see he can do some real good in the world just based on like the way that he's singing this song. You know, he's a role model for people. Really, really good, really thought-provoking in many ways. All right, I'm going to listen to the rest of the song. Oh man, I mean this is something that I was going to pick up on right at the beginning, which is like there was almost like the song started as a wail. He was wailing, you know. There was a sad wailing. I used to live in the north of Cyprus, for whatever reason, we lived next to a cemetery, which was awkward sometimes because I had two dogs that barked an awful lot when services were going on over there, and so. Don't worry, we figured out a way to make them quiet. But often you'd hear wails like this coming from the cemetery, you know, in burial services. It's like that wail of loss and that wail of despair and that wail of sadness. And now he's just spent the last 20 seconds like wailing. It's almost like he's showing us what it feels like on the inside of him. He's showing us the inside of him, what's going on in his mind and what's going on in his heart is like this wailing. He's showing us what it is that he's going through. It's just really clever, right? Because sometimes words don't get us there. You can be as articulate as you like describing words, but they don't really show like what someone is going through. Whereas like that's exactly what he's doing with this part of the song. I think he even said sounds like this is what my pain sounds like. It's a brilliant way of sort of like giving us an insight into what he's experiencing.
Boys don't cry, you know, boys don't cry. Yeah. Boys don't cry, you know, boys don't cry.
He's wicked. He's wicked, you know, like to be vulnerable and in a genuine way, in an authentic way. Do you know what I mean? As in, like, sometimes I think that you see stuff out there where people are being authentic and genuine because they know that it will land well with people, but that wasn't what was going on there. Like that was genuine. Like that fella's got layers to him, and he's got such a lovely voice that I'm gonna look up more of his stuff, man. I really hope that some of those like lovely qualities that he's got, those qualities of vulnerability, he can bring to and he can model for people out there. And I really think that he'll make a great impact. He might already be. Remember this, I don't know who this fella is. I don't know anything about him really. So maybe he's like won a Nobel Prize for love or something and compassion. But If not, then I think there's a great place for him on this earth, positively influencing people. Wicked. Well, that was a great one to watch. Thank you for joining me for this reaction to Rod Wave. Boys Don't Cry. I'm definitely going to be looking up more of his stuff. Take care, and catch you next time.
But he had a wicked voice, that fella did. And he also, was talking about thoughts and feelings and locking them up inside and all that sort of stuff, which is
the problem with that is that you have these negative feelings, or these feelings that you're just trapped. So like sometimes you are angry, you are sad, and it has nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So then that becomes its own living, breathing entity, and then you're living with that.
Yeah.
And then people will say, you should talk to me about it. But it's finding the people that you can be vulnerable enough to go, okay, once I tell you when the genie's out of the bottle, I don't want you to reject me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I can't deal with what I'm dealing with now.
And the rejection.
Because then you've proven that it was right for me to never talk about it.
Yeah, and so many people get burned when they do that. And then they're like, right, I'm not telling anyone this. And it's just locked inside them, Which is why music's so interesting, right? Because it's a way of getting it out, of letting the genie out without necessarily opening yourself up to rejection. But people like Rodwave, when they do things on YouTube, for every sort of like 90 people out there that are reasonable human beings that are gonna like throw their support behind you, there are people out there that are horrible. Do you know what I mean? So like you put stuff out there like that, and like for all I know, like this fella would be like looking at the comments thinking, wow, like I feel rejected. I've put this out there and I feel rejected by the people that are out there. Do you know what I mean? Because we're negatively biased, right? We always look at the negatives and we sort of like discount the positives and stuff. So like it was a really vulnerable sort of like thing to do. But the fact that he's got so many followers and stuff, I assume that like he's doing really well and has got like this lovely status and relationship with his fans and stuff, But he seems genuine, doesn't he? I mean, like,
and that's where authenticity carries over. It's showing. You might not be able to talk about his pain, but I can sing it.
Yeah.
Because music is such a widely accepted, emotional
way release.
Without putting burden on the listener, you have to fix it.
Yes, important.